Oh, before I start, I want to apologize for my voice. I'm suffering from an abominable cold. So, I want to apologize in advance for that. Now, my speech is going to be on leadership. Since we were kids, since we were little, we were taught many things in school, from science to mathematics to history. But there is one thing that most of us did not learn. And this is the one thing that channels all efforts. This is the one thing that glues the minds, glues the passions of everybody to actually achieve something of worth. Because of this, is that humanity owes its most terrifying and awe-inspiring achievements. What I'm talking about is the art and science of leadership. I was fortunate enough to spend 8 years in the United States Air Force Auxiliary, the Civil Air Patrol. And I've learned a few things about leadership that I would like to share with you guys. The first thing that I've learned is command presence. Now, what is command presence? Command presence is how other people perceive you. They could be your subordinates, they could be your superiors. Now, command presence, a lot of things go under this. First thing is body language. There's a big difference between submissive body language and dominant body language. An example of submissive body language would be someone with slumped shoulders, head down, legs close together. This does not look very imposing, correct? If someone is the president of the United States who's addressing the nation like this, and he has his hands like that, you might not take him too seriously. Now compare that to somebody who has his legs shoulder width apart, shoulders back, and head up. Doesn't mean you have to overcompensate and pump your chest out all the way, but it's a more powerful, more powerful image. Now, another thing is walking. A lot of people, when they walk, they're looking down, they have very short steps, and it doesn't project a lot of power, it doesn't project a lot of dominance. Now, switch the scenario. You have someone walking with wide steps, head looking straight. And also, very important, having eye contact. The purpose of eye contact is it shows your dominance, it shows your power. When you look at someone in the eye, and all of a sudden you go ahead and look down, that doesn't show a lot of confidence. It doesn't show that they know what they're doing exactly, especially if that person is supposed to be in charge of you. Another thing that I learned in the Air Force Auxiliary was to define your mission. The mission is always the most important thing you need to do to achieve. So it's more important than your team, sometimes it's more important than yourself. This is why you're there. On the Apollo missions, on the lunar landings, that was the main goal. Yes, it might have cost some lives on some occasions, especially when you look at some of the military expeditions back in World War II. But the mission was bigger than themselves. So as a leader, it is your responsibility to channel everyone's effort towards that mission. Another thing that I learned was to explain the purpose behind orders. One cannot just tell someone to do something. I want you to pick up wood. I want you to make a fire. I want you to build a house. Well, as a subordinate, you're thinking, why am I going to do that? Because you're telling me to do so? No, there's a purpose behind everything. For example, in some of our survival camps, we will tell our cadets, we need you guys to get this amount of wood. We need you guys to get this amount of water. Now, what the poor leaders will do, they'll just say it and expect it to get done. But how motivated are those subordinates to follow? Now, compare that to you tell them you need to get wood. Why? Because that wood you're going to use to make a fire. That fire you're going to use to cook your food. That fire you're going to use to dry yourself when it starts pouring wet, so you don't freeze. Now you have a motivation to go ahead and get that wood. Now you have a motivation to go ahead and follow that order. Imagine if everyone did everything and they knew exactly why they were doing it and how that connected to the bigger mission. The other thing a leader has to do, and that I learned, is that you have to inspire your followers. No one wants to follow someone who is boring, who is unenthusiastic. No one wants to follow someone who has that electric personality, that passion that just radiates everywhere. And this applies to all aspects of your life. This applies to your personal life, how you are, how happy you are, how social you are. This applies to your professional life. How productive are you? How proactive are you? And this carries on to your followers, and they see that. Because you might imagine, okay, my followers may only look at me right now, here on the job, but they also might see you outside in your private life. They might see you with your friends. That electric personality is contagious. I'm sure you guys have heard that if you're sad, if you're negative, it's going to transfer to other people. If you're positive, if you're energetic, that is also going to transfer to other people. So when it comes to accomplishing a mission, what is the best attitude to have collectively as a team? Obviously, to be positive, to be proactive. It is also very important as a leader to decide when to lay down the hammer and when to be compassionate. Some people sometimes need a kick in the ass, and you need to give it to them. Some people need you to hold their hand, and you need to do that as well. And it is your job as a leader to differentiate those two situations and know when to do what. The same way a parent knows when to take care of his child, or when to reproach him for something he did bad. And the most important tenet of leadership that I learned was lead by example. If I'm going to tell somebody to hike up a mountain with a 70-pound pack, I'm not just going to sit back and watch them do it. If I'm going to do that, I better be in the front so they can watch me go ahead. And that is very inspiring to everybody. A boss says go, and a leader says let's go. A leader doesn't mean he's better than everyone else. It doesn't mean he's superior. All that a leader means that he has more responsibility. Something very important is that as a leader, it doesn't mean that you get to pick first, that you get to eat first, that you get to do everything first just because of your position. It's not true. Actually, you're there to serve them. Your only mission is to serve your followers and to serve their mission. Lastly, what I want to say is, for people like this, these skills can be learned. Everything is learnable. Being a leader can be learned, but it does take practice. And the people who have this quality, I always will say, sir or ma'am, I will follow you.